good to be in Adelaide. How's the week on the road been?
Yeah, obviously after the game against the Doggies it was a challenge, but no, it was good. 6-day break, and we normally travel 2 days out, so it just made sense to stay in Melbourne, and we flew over yesterday. So yeah, looking forward to the game.
What's your first impressions of Mount Barker?
Beautiful ground, yeah. It looks in pristine condition. I think it's the same size as the G, so yeah, it looks fantastic. So yeah, can't wait to play.
Sydney obviously pose a pretty dangerous
They do.
threat to you guys, especially on the outside. How do you look to, you're doing really well in the contested possessions, how do you look to try and stop them when they get on the spread?
Yeah, it's a challenge for us. You know, obviously the last few times we've played Sydney as well, they've well and truly had the better of us. So we've got a lot of work to do. But yeah, the things we're working on, we're seeing some improvement, but the rest of the game for us is a bit off. So yeah, we keep trying our best and keep chasing those little things, and hopefully we can turn it around.
I know you don't like looking back too much.
Don't tell me about last year.
The last 3 against the Swans have been tough. Is
Yeah.
there something you've identified that they do that's been able to...
Look, they last time we played, we just couldn't win the ball around the centre and around stoppages. So I think they kicked 7 or 8 goals from the middle. And then they got us on the outside as well. So when team gets you on the inside and outside, it's going to be a long day. So yeah, they've been really good against us the last couple of years. They've been really good in general. So we know what we're up against, but you know, we're looking forward to the challenge.
Young Lock gets a start. What are you hoping for from him tomorrow?
Yeah, Lock, he'll be sub. He lives 10 minutes away, so we just had the extended family in the rooms, and we need a bit of pressure in our front half, so he can help bring that, bring some excitement as well. He kicked 3 goals in a quarter in our waffle game on the weekend, and whilst he's not the finished product just yet, was he 18 or 19? He's part of our build.
Have you been surprised how quickly he's made an impression at the club?
Well, yeah, he played the first couple of games, practice matches as well, and like I said, he's not the finished product, but he brings good energy, good pressure. He's probably where the game's headed with the type of forwards that we need. So in time, we think he's going to be a really good player, but we give him good exposure this weekend.
Does it add a bit more special meaning being, you know, for him and the family to be so close rather than making a debut over?
Yeah, excuse me. Sorry. Look, it was a good coincidence that we were playing here in Adelaide, and it made a bit of sense to play him. So, whilst that's not the priority, it's a good fit.
Adam, do you think is it going to be a bit of a baptism of fire? Is he ready to go, or is it sink or swim?
He'll be sub, and our expectations that he contributes. So, you know, not to come on and turn the game for us. So, it's just part of our young brigade coming through, and the exposure we give him the next, 50 games is really important with their development. So, whilst we don't want to just give games away, we need him to contribute. But it's tough when you're 18.
How's he handled the news with it?
He's great. Yeah, he's excited. Yeah, we flew him to Melbourne to train with us, so I think he got a pretty good indication he was going to get a game when he flew over to Melbourne to train. So, yep, he'll be part of the team now, and yeah, we'll keep moving forward.
Josh Ruthven back into the side. That must be good to get some experience.
Yeah, we've got a few guys coming back through Waffle in the next few weeks. With Rotham, he played 3 or 4 games. I think Jai Cully plays this weekend. Dom Sheed plays. Liam Ryan will play next week. So, we're missing a few players, but not like the last couple of years. It's been pretty standard. So Roth comes in because he's in good form.
Jermaine just unlucky.
He goes out because he's out of form. Yeah. So like I've been saying, match committee's been a bit harder, which is a great thing.
So we spoke last week about that connection up forward. How do you fix that in 6 days, or can you fix that in 6 days?
No, we continue to work on it. Like, strangely enough, we kicked 3 goals, 3 goals 12. I reckon we could have kicked 6 or 7. But our team defence and our contests is still our priority, and we think if we defend better, we'll get more opportunities to score. So it's not just the connection forward, which needs work. It's how you defend your half of the ground, which is something we're really chasing. So yeah, we're trying to get better at everything at the moment.
Is there any different looks you can have in the forward line? I know Tommy Brass at times.
Heard a bit of that, yeah. Brass, McGovern, they're all Australian defender. It's definitely something you've got to consider, but it's not as easy as just halfway through a game throwing them forward. You really got to train them up a little bit. So what will change if you put those type of players forward and the talent takes over. That's what probably we're talking about. So yeah, definitely need to explore it at some stage. Probably not McGovern, more Barras, we're thinking, but we're not going to start that way.
You just mentioned the extra time on the road. What sort of benefits can you get out of that, Adam? Having the group together a bit more, a young group trying to connect?
Yeah, look, the stage we're at the moment, they're a really connected group off field. We want to get more connection on field and train a bit more together and get the synergy with the side. I mean, we've made 2 changes, which is a good thing. We can get the guys playing in the same roles and same positions, and they can grow together on field. So all that type of thing's what we're after at the moment. And going away together for a week is part of that as well. So yeah, we're pretty clear where we're at and where we need to get better at. It's just going to take a bit of time.
In that time, how have you kept that morale up in this week off after the couple of losses with this young group?
Yeah, hasn't been a massive issue. It's you know, the messaging we portray to you guys is really important about where we're at and not accepting poor performances, but also understanding where we're at. That's sort of our challenge with the players as well, because our leaders want to win and our young players want to win, but at the moment the small wins are important first. So yeah, that's a balance we're working through. It's a long year as well, and it's been a long 2.5 years. So we're yeah, there's good energy amongst the group. We want to get better, and we need to, obviously.
Isaac Heaney, bit of a problem so far to start the season. Do you
Heaney?
think about sending someone to him, maybe like a Chesser or something?
Yeah.
We've done it before with Jinby with guys to give them a bit of a lesson and help them develop.
It definitely needs to be part of what we do. Yeah, so you know, the teams we've played in the last 4 weeks, it's not just one player. You know, there's like some pretty serious players. So you take out 1 or 2 and two or 3 others bob up. But I think part of our growth is to get these guys to play on some A-graders, and that's going to happen this week.
A bit of talk as well about flooding Reid back. Is now the game to do that?
Yeah, that's not talk that we're doing at the moment. So the Harley Reid conversations are had quite often. Yeah, we thought just building his tank a little bit at the moment. He sort of starts the games well. I think he's probably still the #1 ranked first yearer going around, but trying to get 4 quarters is his next challenge. I think we see glimpses of some special footy. Whether he goes back or forward, we think he's going to be midfielder long term. Maybe resting forward a bit's what we're doing at the moment without throwing around everywhere.
Simo, I know this is not something directly in your mind at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a bit of talk about what happens with the VFL and the expansion, and I know you've been involved in those conversations, not to a certain extent, but do you have an opinion? Do you want to see the Eagles do a national reserve? Are you happy with the waffle system?
It's probably bigger than my opinion, to be honest. And from a club point of view, we just want to get our waffle Eagles right at the moment. You know, here we go. That's a good interlude. There we go. The club hasn't got a strong opinion at the moment. We're working through that, but our reserve side that we have at the moment, we'd like to be more competitive with that first up. This year is really important for the development of our players. So, yeah, we're concentrating on this year first. So the club will give you some clarity in a few weeks.
Give it a good shake tomorrow, Simo.
That's our plan. Yeah. Look, it's we've got to go in with a positive attitude, and we've got to play on the front foot as best we can. So, you know, we plan to win every week. That's been a challenge for a long period of time, but it doesn't take away our drive to win. So I've got an eye on the bigger picture, and we've got an eye on doing what's best to win with whatever strategy we need to do.
What do you make of the fans seen yesterday? They were everywhere in the Footy Festival, Eagles fans.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, even in Melbourne, we had a great turnout. We must have had 200 or 300 at the captain's run in Melbourne. You know, same again today. So our support, you know, as much as it's been a real challenge, has been unwavering, and we can't thank our supporters enough. And you know, hopefully we can do them proud as we move forward.